Imagine buying the perfect perfume. It smells incredible when you spray it. 30 minutes later, you can barely smell it anymore. So you spray more and more. Eventually, you begin wondering whether you simply bought the wrong fragrance. But what if the problem isn't the perfume at all? Over the last few years, one inexpensive product has become a favorite recommendation in fragrance communities. It's not another perfume. It's not a special fixative. It's fractionated coconut oil. Some people claim it makes almost any fragrance last longer. Others say it doesn't work at all. So who's right? The answer isn't as simple as social media makes it seem. Because to understand whether this trick works, you first need to understand how perfume actually disappears from your skin. And once you do,
you'll realize that making fragrance last longer has less to do with magic products and much more to do with chemistry. Most people think perfume simply wears off, but that's not really what's happening. Perfume is designed to evaporate. In fact, if it didn't evaporate, you wouldn't smell it at all. When you spray a fragrance, you're releasing a carefully balanced mixture of alcohol and aromatic ingredients. The alcohol evaporates first, helping carry tiny fragrance molecules into the air. Those airborne molecules eventually reach your nose, allowing you to experience the scent. This is why perfume changes over time. The brightest, lightest ingredients, often citrus or fresh herbal notes, tend to disappear first because they're more volatile. Heavier ingredients like vanilla, patchouli, amber, and certain musks usually evaporate more slowly, remaining noticeable for much longer. Perfumers intentionally build fragrances this way. It's part of the experience. So if evaporation is essential, why do some people's perfumes seem to last all day, while others disappear within a few hours? The answer often begins with something surprisingly simple: your skin.
Imagine painting two different walls. One wall is dry and rough. The other has been properly prepared with a smooth primer. The same paint behaves differently on each surface. Perfume behaves in a similar way. Your skin isn't just a surface where fragrance sits. It's a living organ that's constantly producing oils, losing moisture, and interacting with the environment. One important factor is skin hydration. When skin is very dry, fragrance ingredients may evaporate or dissipate more quickly because there's less moisture and fewer natural oils on the surface. That's one reason many fragrance experts recommend applying perfume to moisturize skin rather than very dry skin. Notice something important. They recommend moisturized skin, not necessarily oily skin. Those aren't the same thing. This distinction is where many online discussions become confusing. Moisturizing your skin doesn't chemically lock perfume in place.
Instead, it may provide a smoother, more hydrated surface that allows some fragrances to perform better. The effect varies depending on the fragrance, your skin type, humidity, temperature, and even how much you perspire throughout the day. And that's where fractionated coconut oil enters the conversation. Unlike regular coconut oil, it's lightweight, nearly odorless, and remains liquid at room temperature. Because of these properties, many fragrance enthusiasts use a very thin layer before applying perfume. But does the oil itself actually act as a fragrance fixative, or is something else happening? The science behind that answer is far more interesting than the internet usually suggests.
If you spend enough time on fragrance forums or social media, you'll eventually come across a confident claim. Fractionated coconut oil is a perfume fixative. It sounds convincing, but scientifically, that's not quite accurate. In perfumery, a fixative is typically an ingredient that's blended into the fragrance itself during formulation. Its role is to help balance the evaporation of aromatic ingredients and influence how the scent develops over time. Fractionated coconut oil isn't added to the perfume. It's applied to your skin,
That may seem like a small distinction, but it's an important one. Rather than changing the perfume's formula, the oil changes the surface the perfume is sprayed onto. And that difference helps explain why people's experiences can vary so much. Think about placing a drop of water on two different surfaces. One is dry, cracked concrete. The other is smooth, slightly damp stone. The water behaves differently on each. Your skin works in a similar way.
Healthy skin naturally contains moisture and a protective layer of lipids that help reduce water loss. When that barrier becomes compromised, the skin becomes drier and less efficient at retaining moisture. Many fragrance experts believe this matters because perfume interacts with the surface of your skin throughout the day. A well-moisturized surface may help fragrance ingredients remain on the skin longer than extremely dry skin. Notice what's happening here. The oil isn't grabbing perfume molecules like a magnet, and it isn't preventing evaporation altogether. Instead, it's creating a more comfortable, hydrated surface where the fragrance may perform more consistently. That's an important difference because it keeps our expectations realistic. This is about improving the conditions for the fragrance, not changing the chemistry inside the bottle. So why has fractionated coconut oil become such a popular recommendation? Simply because it checks several practical boxes. Unlike regular coconut oil, it stays liquid at room temperature. It's lightweight, it spreads easily, and it's nearly odorless, so it usually won't compete with your fragrance. For many people, that's more convenient than heavier oils. Some also prefer it over scented body lotions, which can sometimes alter the character of a perfume. That doesn't mean fractionated coconut oil is the only option. An unscented moisturizer can work well too. The goal isn't to find a magical ingredient. The goal is simply to apply fragrance to skin that's healthy
and hydrated. This is the part that often gets left out online. No two people wear the same perfume in exactly the same way. Skin type matters, climate matters, humidity matters, even the fragrance itself matters. A fresh citrus cologne designed to feel light and airy will naturally behave differently from a rich vanilla or amber fragrance created for long wear. That's why one person may notice a clear improvement after moisturizing, while someone else notices almost no difference at all. Neither person is necessarily wrong. They're simply working with different skin and different fragrances. And that leads to an even bigger question.
So, if moisturized skin can help some fragrances perform better, what's the best way to put that knowledge into practice? Fortunately, it doesn't require expensive products or complicated routines. Start with clean skin. After showering is often ideal because your skin is clean and slightly more hydrated. If you're using fractionated coconut oil or an unscented moisturizer, apply only a thin layer to the areas where you normally wear fragrance. Think of it as preparing a canvas before painting. The goal isn't to leave your skin feeling oily, it's simply to prevent it from being excessively dry. Once the moisturizer has absorbed for a minute or two, apply your perfume as you normally would. Focus on pulse points like your wrists, neck, or behind your ears if those areas work well for you. These locations are popular because they're convenient and naturally exposed, not because they're guaranteed to make every fragrance perform better. In reality, perfume performance depends on many factors beyond where you spray. One of the oldest fragrance habits is rubbing your wrists together after applying perfume. You've probably seen it in movies, advertisements, or even department stores. But should you actually do it? The answer is, it probably doesn't matter as much as people think. A common claim is that rubbing your wrists crushes or breaks fragrance molecules. There's no strong scientific evidence that you're physically destroying the molecules. However, rubbing does create friction and warmth, which may influence how the fragrance develops immediately after application.
That's why many perfumers and fragrance educators recommend simply letting the perfume dry naturally. Another common misconception is that spraying more perfume automatically means it will last longer.
Isn't necessarily poor quality. Some perfumes are intentionally subtle. Others are intentionally bold. Neither approach is wrong. The goal isn't to make every fragrance project across a room. The goal is to enjoy the experience the perfumer intended, while giving your skin the best possible conditions to support it. Moisturized skin may help. Fractionated coconut oil may work well for some people. Unscented lotion may work just as well for others. The only reliable way to know is to try the method consistently with your own fragrances and see how they perform on your skin. So, does fractionated coconut oil deserve its reputation? The answer is partly. It's not a miracle fix. It's not a substitute for a well-formulated perfume. And it's not a scientifically proven way to dramatically extend every fragrance. But it is a practical, inexpensive, and nearly odorless moisturizer that many fragrance enthusiasts find helpful, especially if they have dry skin. The biggest takeaway isn't that you've discovered a secret. It's that you've learned how fragrance really works. Perfume doesn't exist in isolation. It interacts with your skin, your environment, the weather, Even your daily routine. Understanding those factors often makes a bigger difference than simply buying another bottle. Sometimes getting more from a fragrance isn't about spending more money. It's about understanding the one you already own. Now, we'd like to hear from you. Have you ever tried applying fractionated coconut oil or an unscented moisturizer before your perfume? Did you notice a difference? Or do you think fragrance longevity depends mostly on the perfume itself? Share your experience in the comments below. Real-world experiences from different skin types and climates help everyone learn. And if you enjoy exploring the science behind fragrance without the myths, subscribe for more evidence-based videos designed to help you get the most from every bottle. Until next time!